So I have many people asking me this question, that when I become a permanent resident of Canada, does that mean I have to remain in Canada forever? Does it mean I will not be able to travel back to my country of origin? If I have business dealings that I want to do there, will I be able to leave after I land in Canada? So I want to use myself as an example. When I became a permanent resident of Canada, the first year I traveled back to Nigeria 4 times, and I was there for a significant number of time. I stayed for like 3-4 weeks at each period when I came. And this is an evidence to show that if you are a permanent resident of Canada, you don't really have to sit down in Canada all the time. There are rules that guide it, and if you stay to the end of this video, you get to understand that, and you can use that to plan your life when you become a permanent resident of Canada. So the current rule as of today that operates if you're a permanent resident of Canada is to maintain your permanent residence. When you look at 5 years from the day you became a permanent resident, you should have spent at least 2 years out of 5 years in Canada if you plan to renew your permanent residence. So permanent resident card is renewed every 5 years. So when I came into Canada, I was given a permanent resident card that was valid for 5 years. So if I wanted to renew the permanent resident card, I have to have spent minimum of 2 years out of 5 years from when I want to apply. Now that does not mean you must stay in Canada for 2 years straight. You can try to do that. Some people did that. The most important thing is, if you are applying to renew your permanent resident card after that 5-year period, you must ensure that cumulatively you have accumulated 2 years or 730 days in Canada as at the time you are applying. Now, if you don't meet that requirement, your permanent resident card will not be renewed, and your permanent resident status, even though you're not losing at that point, it may become invalid. So if you want to become a permanent resident of Canada, you don't need to bother yourself or start worrying about, if I become a permanent resident today, I'm stuck in Canada, I can't go out, I can't travel out of the country, I have to remain in here. No. So you can decide to stay for 2 years and know that, well, you have gotten the minimum requirement, and if you stay out for the next 3 years, nothing will happen. And you can decide that the first year you want to stay in Canada for 2 months, next year you want to stay for 6 months. As long as by the end of the 5 years you have accumulated at least 730 days or at least 2 years in Canada, you will be able to renew your permanent resident card. So it's as simple as that. So it's not something so difficult that once you come in you can go out. In fact, I've had clients who landed today and within that same week they left Canada. They traveled out of Canada. So you can travel out. You don't have to be, you're not tied down to Canada. It's not compulsory that you must remain in Canada as soon as you land as a PR. No, there's still allowance for you to go in and out, and as long as you meet that requirement that I said, which is spending 730 days out of 5 years in Canada or 2 years out of 5 years in Canada, you are good to go. So if you want to become a permanent resident of Canada, you can reach out to me. I'm a licensed immigration consultant in Canada, and I've assisted so many people to become permanent residents of Canada. You can reach out to me using my WhatsApp number +1 587 568 6124. See ya.